Today's video is a little different because hidden among the usual ranting and profanities there is a serious point, and this point is aimed at younger people who may be watching this video because clearly I'm down with the kids. There's a new viral challenge on TikTok, and I've never shied away from my open dislike of that social media site because it provides a platform for every half-wit with a mobile phone to spew out whatever comes into their heads. Obviously unlike YouTube, but so much of the content is utterly pointless. I was just like, you know, and my friends were just like, you know, so it was just like, you know. And the rest of it is mostly people doing the same dance or miming along with films. Intellectual, it is not. But now there's a new challenge called the Silhouette Challenge. And this is meant to be about promoting body positivity. We'll get back to that in a moment, but for me, the body positive movement is something of a double-edged sword. Now, it's meant to promote that everyone is beautiful, but it's skewed much more towards women. If a slightly overweight lady did a photo shoot wearing nothing but her underwear, she would be courageous and beautiful. Whereas if I did the same thing, I'd be a fat bastard. But the idea of seeing everyone as beautiful is really nice, even though there are some right fucking munters out there. But whoever you are and however you look, there's someone in the world for you. For example, here in the UK, there's a chain of clothing stores called Primark, and for the benefit of anyone overseas, buying clothes from Primark is morally one step up from shoplifting, because you're not technically stealing, but the clothing is so cheap you know it's been made by a 4-year-old Chinese kid. And if you stand outside Primark in any major British town or city on a Saturday afternoon, leaving it is a never-ending stream of these big lasses. And I don't mean they're sitting a bit low in the water or carrying a bit of timber. I mean the ones who've got that proper sideways walk going on. The ones who are always sweating. Their ankles are spilling over onto their trainers. They always wear leggings which are pulled so tight they're almost transparent. And I'm left thinking, what is the breaking strain on elasticated polyester? But these women always have a husband or boyfriend with them. And they always look the same as well. Skinny little rat-faced bastards with a goatee beard, a baseball cap and a checked shirt. But the thing is, those couples always look happy. So that's great for them. But the issue I have with the body positive brigade is when their rhetoric changes from big is beautiful to big is healthy, because being morbidly obese isn't. If you saw someone who clearly had bulimia or anorexia, you would think that is a person with mental health problems who severely needs help. So the same thing should apply if you see someone eating as if they're trying to get into a documentary where the paramedics will have to cut the wall down and crane them into the ambulance. And then at the other end of the spectrum, we have the way that sites like Instagram have a negative effect on many young people's and older people's mental health. They see the way in which these two-dimensional fucktards who call themselves influencers are portrayed. Endlessly on holiday with cars, clothes, jewellery, always having fun. And that has a detrimental effect on people's happiness because they're constantly being bombarded with images of a life they can never get. But the vast majority of the content posted by influencers is utter bullshit. It never ceases to amaze me how many of them drive the same cars. And I don't mean the same models. There's a handful of Ferraris and Lamborghinis which they all use. Because they're fucking rentals, and the same applies to their jewellery, their designer clothes. That Louis Vuitton luggage is probably Chinese knockoff. But importantly, some of the more popular influencers are sponsored, so they've got dietitians and personal trainers, and they've had cosmetic surgery, and most importantly of all, they've got photo editors. When you or I post a selfie, we're holding our phone like this, we'll take the photo and maybe slap a filter on it. For an influencer, that photo goes away to a professional photo editor who will spend hours on it like it's the cover of fucking Vogue. So people feel upset that they can't look like influencers, but in reality, the fucking influencers don't look like influencers. So what has any of this got to do with TikTok? Well, for the Silhouette Challenge, the user will use a red filter that turns the background a sort of wine colour and turns them into a black silhouette. So they appear to be from either the opening titles of a Roger Moore James Bond film or a softcore porn film. But given that for many young people so much of their self-esteem is based on likes on social media, Many young women and girls, and when I say girls I mean early high school age, are doing the silhouette challenge dancing in their underwear or less. Because nothing's really visible, so what's the harm? And it's not often I try and make a serious point, but for anyone who's thinking of doing the silhouette challenge or knows someone who's thinking of doing it, please, please don't. Because it transpires that red filter that's used to create the effect can be retrospectively removed by a third person. So these videos are being essentially turned into pornography, uploaded to porn sites or used for cyberbullying and blackmail. No amount of likes on fucking TikTok is worth that. So what of the people, and when I say people I mean men, who are removing these filters? Well, for me, whether they're doing it to extort money or for their own sexual gratification, every man jack of them should be dragged to the nearest lamppost and strung up by their bollocks. If they're doing it for financial gain, then just get a fucking job like the rest of us. And for those of them who get their jollies watching naked women dancing, well, it's not like there's a shortage of it on the internet, and it's not hard to access. One of the biggest mysteries in our modern age, the one question no one can answer, is what happens when you go to an adult website and click I am under 18. A few of you may be confused because for a moment it looked like I was presenting Newsnight. But normal service will soon be resumed, and as ever, thanks for watching.